Elli-May smoked barbecue. Today what we're going to be doing is curing a pork belly and then smoking it and making it into bacon. So what we are going to do is we are going to cut this thing in half because the smoker we're going to use is too small to hold the whole slab, and then we're going to cure it. And the cure we're going to use today is made up of 1 cup of kosher salt, 1 cup of light brown sugar, and 1 cup of maple syrup, real maple syrup, 100% real maple syrup. Don't use any of that high corn fructose syrupy stuff that you can buy from the store. So anyway, I've already made the brine and I've already divided it because this is a 10-pound slab of pork belly, and we're going to cut it in half, so roughly have 2 5-pounds. Now you can vary the amount of maple syrup that you want to use. Obviously I like it a little bit on the sweet side, so I've used more, but typically for every 5 pounds of belly that we would cure for bacon, we would use a 1/2 cup of kosher salt, a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, and a 1/4 cup of the pure maple syrup. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this thing cut in half and get it cured, or get the cure, the rub, the cure, whatever you want to call it, on it. So basically just taking my handy dandy knife here, being careful not to cut myself. And this is a skinless belly. It should have had the skin on it. If you get one with a skin, you can do one of 2 things. You can take the skin off right away before you cure and smoke it, or after you smoke it, you can remove the skin. But either way, you want to get the skin off. If you remove the skin prior to curing it and smoking it, you want to save that, and you can definitely do a lot of different things with that, make some crackling or what have you. So we now have it cut in half, as you can see, and this thing has a nice layer of fat on it, really thick. Now we didn't trim this for nothing. You know, we want all this fat to, for flavor, so when we do put it in the skillet and cook it, it has all that flavor. And then what we're going to do is when we smoke this, we're not trying to, or at least I'm not going to cook it. I just want to get the smoke flavor infused into it. So what we're going to do is use our cold smoker, and probably going to keep the temperature between 90 and 100 degrees. We're going to use some hickory flakes, or hickory dust, if you will, and then probably let it smoke for about 1.5 hours just to get that smoke into it. Once we get this put in these pans with the cure on it, the rub on it, it's going to take about 5 to 7 days. I think we're going to do 6 days, and every 24 hours we're going to flip the belly. So and then prior to going to the smoker, we'll obviously take it off, rinse it off real good, let it dry in the fridge for a few hours, and throw it in the smoker and get that smoke on it. Once that smoke is on it, then we'll put it through the slicer and slice it up and have some amazing bacon. And once you've had home cured smoked bacon, you will never buy store-bought bacon again. It's absolutely incredible. We're not using any nitrates or anything to cure it. We're just using, like I said, salt, brown sugar, and then the maple syrup for some sweetness. So what I want to do is, like I said, I have this already divided. I'm going to go ahead and put the cure rub on these and get these in these pans. So it's just basically rub it on there real good, and you want to make sure you get all the sides covered. It's really nice thick paste. Get all on this, nice and covered. And we're not using any kind of pink curing salt or anything like that, because we're not going to let this stuff sit in the refrigerator for days and weeks and months like some people do with their bacon. We're going to actually cut this, package it up, and then freeze it. So every time we want to have bacon, we'll obviously pull it out of the freezer. But I'm not real big on the pink curing salts and stuff, because I don't need this to last. This is only 10 pounds of bacon. We'll go through that in no time. We're big bacon eaters here. at Elli-May Smoked Barbecue, so no worries on that. I want to get this all good and cured. Not cured, I keep saying cured. It's not cured yet, but it will be in 7 days, 6 to 7 days. And you can do this less, you can go as short as 3 days, but if you're gonna do something like that, I would definitely put some kind of, curing salt in it, just to help with that. But so now what I want to do is take this pan right here and get it in there. Get a little more down here just to be safe. And what's going to happen is this is going to really pull the moisture out of this once the salt gets down there and starts penetrating it. And like I said, we'll flip it tomorrow night, and then we'll continue to do that for the next 6 days or so until it's ready to go on the smoker. So now, get the rest of this and just rub this in really good. Bring this over here closer to me. And again, making sure to get all these sides covered really good, really work that into the meat. No need to try to go sparingly, man, just cake it on there. Now there's many different things that you can do in terms of flavor. If you want to add a little bit of cayenne pepper or, I don't know, apple juice, pineapple juice, whatever, trips your trigger in this thing to give it some flavor, thyme, rosemary. There's so many different things you can do. We're very basic and very simple here at Elli-May, so we're going to do it this way with just the salt and the sugar and the 100% pure maple syrup. Now, as you can see, this thing is covered very nicely. There's no exposed edges that are not covered. And this thing's going to sit in the fridge for 24 hours, and we're going to flip it. We're going to do both these. So there's that one. We are going to repeat the process with this one, put it in that pan, do the same thing. And then it's going to go into the fridge. We'll wrap them and then they'll go in the fridge. And then, like I said, once we get them to the, here in 7 days or so, on the smoker, we're going to use hickory, more like hickory dust as opposed to like the hickory chunks. Put them in the smoker. We're going to run the smoker around 100 degrees. And it's probably going to take an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, we're not cooking this in the smoker. We're just putting the smoke on it. So, it's not, we're not looking for any kind of internal temperature per se. There's a lot of camps out there that'll smoke it and take it to 160, 165 degrees. We're not going to do that. And then we're going to, once we get the smoke on it, let it rest, for a few hours. And we're going to slice it up and see where we're at. So what I'm going to do now is finish this one off, get them in the pans, and then get them wrapped up and get them in the fridge. And then in 24 hours, we'll flip them. We'll bring you back, for the first flipping. We probably won't bring you back for all the flips because it's just a matter, once you see one or two, it's just flipping meat. So that's what we're going to do. And then, stay tuned. We'll bring you back to 24 hours when we flip these, and we just see what's going on with the meat and how the rub and cure, whatever you want to call it, is working and penetrating. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Here we are 24 hours later, and what we want to do at this point is flip these things over and then get them wrapped up again and then put them back in the fridge, let them sit another 24 hours, and we'll continue to flip them for the next 4 or 5 days until they're cured to where we want them, and then we'll prep them for the smoker. But it's real simple. We're just going to get these things unwrapped, and as you can see, these things are just sitting in liquid. Man, it smells good. That smells good. Get these unwrapped real quick. Throw this in the thing. I mean, nothing fancy here. We're just gonna flip these dudes over. All right. So here we have it. Real simple. We're just gonna grab that dude, and you can see all that liquid in there. Man, it smells so good. Look at that nice color. And just flip it, just like that. And then same thing with the other one. Got something there. Take it off. And just flip it. Here we got some sugar. Let's go ahead and just get some of that up out of there. How about on top? Extra sweet. Didn't quite have that over here. But then once we get these cured, we're going to cold smoke them at about 100 degrees. We don't really want to cook the inside. We just want to get the smoke on it. And then we'll slice it up and freeze it. And then, you know, take it out as we want to eat it. There you have it. That's simple. And now what we're going to do, show you how we do that here, is just get it covered up. I'm going to take this first piece, get it on here, like this. And then what I want to do is just kind of really get it smushed down to get as much air out of this thing as we can. Kind of seal it up a little bit, and then we'll come back over the top of it with another piece. Just like that. Seal it up a little bit. Slide this dude over. And then just put another piece over the top. Just kind of seal it up. And there you have it, man. Simple as that. So, nice airtight seal. So that's that. We're going to go ahead and get this one wrapped up. And then we're going to both put back in the fridge. And then tomorrow we'll do the same thing again. And we'll continue to do that and probably for the next 4 or 5 days. And then once we get them cured to where we want them, we'll take them out, prep them for the smoker and get them smoked. So, probably won't bring you back every day when we wrap or flip these. So we'll probably see you in about 5 days, 4 to 5 days. So until then, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Hey guys, welcome back. Here we have it, our pork belly that's been fully cured and ready for the smoker. So now we cured these for 6 days, and we pulled them out of the cure yesterday, rinsed them off, and then dried them up as good as we can get them, and then put them on these trays or these racks and stuck them in the refrigerator overnight to dry out. So this is it right here. This started out as a 10-pound belly. We obviously cut it in half and cured each side. Then we're going to use our Big Chief smoker today, and we're going to cold smoke these. We're not trying to cook these all the way through. We're not looking for any type or any particular internal temperature. We cured these with a cure that did not contain any kind of curing salt or any sodium nitrate or anything like that. So once we get these things smoked, we're going to slice them, portion them in individual portions, and then we're going to freeze them. We're not going to hold these in the refrigerator for any length of time whatsoever, simply because we do not have any type of curing salt in them to prolong the shelf life in the refrigerator. So if you do this method, I highly suggest you either eat all 10 pounds at once, which would be a lot of bacon, or do as we are going to do, slice it up, portion it, and then seal. You can either vacuum pack them, wrap them up in some kind of plastic wrap or whatever, however you freeze meat. We are going to wrap them up and then put them in the freezer, and then as we eat, we'll pull them out and let them thaw. And we'll probably wrap them in 1 pound packages. So just kind of a little recap, the brine or the curing brine that we used was 1 cup of kosher salt, 1 cup of brown sugar, and a half a cup of maple syrup. Now that's pure maple syrup. It's not the corn syrup infused crap that you buy on the shelf at the grocery store. So it's pure maple syrup. Now that is double what we normally would use because we did use 10 pounds of pork belly. You'd cut all those in half if you were only using 5 pounds. So like I said, we're going to get these into the smoker, the coal smoker, the Big Chief. We're going to use hickory wood, hickory chips, and we're probably going to smoke them for an hour and a half or so, and then pull them off the smoker, and then slice them up and get them wrapped and in the freezer. And then, like I said, we'll pull out whatever we need whenever we're going to have some bacon, which is almost daily here in southern Indiana. Right now the outside temperature is probably about 30 degrees, but what we are going to do, we want to run the smoker no more than 100 degrees. So we're going to keep the temperature between 90 and 100 degrees. And then with the cold temperature outside, that's going to help. We're also going to probably put a tray of, or a pan, if you will, of ice in the smoker as well to keep the heat down. Because we just, like I said, we just want to get smoke on these things. We're not trying to cook them. You know, if we wanted to cook them, we would use one of our bigger smokers, but just want to get smoke flavor in them. So for now, we're going to get the smoker prepped up, get these on the smoker, let the smoke roll. When we're through putting smoke on them, we'll bring you back, we'll cut into them, get a couple pieces cooked up, and see how they taste. So until then, be safe, stay healthy, see you in a few. All right guys, welcome back. Here's the finished product. Hickory smoked maple bacon. Now we took this off the smoker about 30 minutes ago, so it's kind of just been sitting here resting. And man, I tell you, the house smells amazing. But here it is. Like I said, we really smoked it at around 90 to 100 degrees, so we didn't want to get the inside of it cooked. So it still is raw inside. So what we want to do right now is cut a couple pieces off and fry them up and see what they taste like. So what I first want to do is I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to square off this end and then cut a couple slices off of it, and then we'll cook them up and try them and see what they taste like. But so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to square this up. You can kind of see it's at an angle. So I'm just going to kind of use my eyeball and eyeball it. Just go right down through here. Get it as straight as you can. And then this piece right here, you can just chunk up and use in, like, I don't know, baked beans or whatever, smoked baked beans. But you can see that bacon, man, it looks so good, but you can see it's still raw on the inside. So we'll set this over here. We're going to cut a couple pieces off and get those in the skillet and get them frying. And you can cut this any thickness you want, whatever trips your trigger. I like mine a little bit on the thick side. So these will be a little thicker than probably, well, I guess you can buy thick cut stuff at the grocery store. So we're gonna, and this might be a little on the thin side, but anyway, it'll serve its purpose. Not very straight, but it's cutting. Get down through all that fat. Oh man, this really smells good. Probably time to run the knife through the sharpener, I would think. Without a doubt. Alright. Whoops, stabbed myself. I don't want to do that. Alright. Let's go ahead and cut another piece off of here.
Make it thicker.
Well, it's be a little thicker.
Okay.
Most of the way through. I mean, I'm not. This one's going to be a little thicker. At least in the middle, anyway. Alright. So there you have it. I'm going to cut this in half. Make it a little smaller. And cut that off there. We'll throw it in the skillet, but it's nothing but fat. Alright. Man, this smells really good. Really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw these in the skillet. Get them cooking, get them sizzling. Make the house smell even greater. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the stove and get these things fried up. So we'll see you over at the stove. All right, guys, here we go. Got it in the skillet, and man, you can hear this stuff just popping and crackling away. And you can see the crisp edges around these pieces that we have in here. Man, this smells so good, it's just ridiculous. I cannot believe how good this smells. I tell you, once you have bacon this way, man, you will never buy bacon at the grocery store again. I promise you that. That's that little piece just kind of rendering away. But we're gonna, you can just see, just cooked up so nice. This is gonna be so good, so good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish, look at that, how it's browning, really nice. Finish cooking this. And once we get it finished, we're going to chop it up into bite-sized morsels and try it, just see what's going on. So we're going to finish cooking this, and once we get it finished, we'll bring you back and we'll do a little taste test. So stay tuned. Here we go, finished product. And man, you can see that just looks ridiculously amazing. Cooked almost perfect for me. Nice crisp edges. So what we want to do now is the real test, the taste test. So without further ado, here we go. So crunchy. Oh my God. So good. I mean, it's incredible. Blows store-bought bacon away. When it's not over salty, so you're not getting overpowered with salt. Just the right amount of smoke, just the right amount of maple flavor. Really, really good. This really came out great. Let's go in for another piece. My God. So good. Crunchy. Man. Definitely hit a home run on this. Just to kind of recap what we did is we took a 10-pound slab of pork belly and cut it in half in the 2-pound, or not 2-pound, but 2 5-pound slabs. And then we put in a solution of brown sugar and kosher salt with some pure maple syrup, and I'll include the recipe in the description down below of what we did. And then flipped it every 24 hours for 6 days. Then last day took it out, rinsed it off, and then put it in the fridge for 24 hours to air dry. Once that was done, we put it in our Big Chief smoker, cold smoker, with some hickory chips, and smoked it. And we smoked it for a couple hours today, about 2 hours, and then smoked it for 2 hours, and then took it out of the smoker, and then brought it in and let it rest for about 30 minutes or so. And then you just saw, cut a piece off of it, and then cooked it. And man, really came out good. Really, really happy with this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run these things through the slicer and slice them so we get some nice even slices out of this thing. Then, like I said, we cured it with no sodium nitrate or any kind of curing salt. So we're going to get it sliced up and wrapped up and thrown in the freezer so it'll keep. I do not, if you want to put this in the fridge for any length of time, I do not recommend doing it the way we did it, and to use some curing salt in your cure so you can keep in the fridge for a few days. We're not going to do that, though. We don't do that. We're going to freeze it. So anyway, if you like what you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you don't miss any future notifications when we do amazing stuff like this. And give us things a thumbs up. Hey, thumbs up. Let's stuttered on that. Give it a thumbs up so it helps that YouTube algorithm get this out to the rest of the world so they can see this amazing stuff. So there you have it. Until next time, everybody be safe and stay healthy. We'll see you soon.